Hi again, everybody. I have another message that came in off of Facebook. This comes in from Megan. Hi there, my story is a bit different. My mother was in a horrible car accident when I was 2, which left her severely brain damaged. Since she couldn't care for my sister and I, we were sent to live with her narcissistic and borderline brothers and sisters. Before I became no contact with our abusers, I took my disabled mother to Atlanta to live near my sister, who is a nurse. Because the abusers were taking her money and using her as leverage to guilt me into supplying their needs, my sister took wonderful care of my mother. She would visit her twice a day in the nursing home and bring my mother to her house every weekend. In that time, I went no contact with the abusers. They tried everything to get me and my children, including trying to give me money, which I didn't need nor ask for, buying my children presents and coming to my house to deliver them, and worst of all, telling me they had cancer and only 6 months to live. More narcissistic abusers with cancer. You know, are we seeing a theme here, everybody? Are we seeing how the narcissistic abuser will lie about their health conditions in order to guilt you and to shame you into giving them what they want? You know, they use tactics which are very much like what we see in modern day politics, where they try to change you not through fact or not through truth, where they try to shame you into you giving them their way. They're using shaming tactics, which will work because they have abused you to a level where you have no self-esteem. You're automatically, inclined to believe everything you do is wrong and you're the problem. So we're very easy to shame, and it's not right. That was a year and a half ago, and they are still alive. When nothing worked, they drove to Atlanta in the middle of the night, and when my sister was at work, and checked my mother out of her nursing home and drove her back to Florida. Because my mother was not declared legally incapacitated, we never had the money to go through the courts to do this, and there is nothing that we could do. I haven't seen or heard from my mother since January. They have her living at their house, and the only way we can be in my mother's life is going through the abusers. I refuse to allow these people into my life or my children's lives, even if that means I won't see my mother again. I am having a hard time dealing with the guilt. I know I have made the right decision for my family, but I worry about my mother every day. If they are capable, if essentially kidnapping a disabled woman, what else could they be capable of? And that is exactly the point. If these people are so sick that they're looking to guilt you that way in, but then they'll go and basically kidnap your mother and take her out of a nursing home. I'm sorry, but your own health and your family's health comes first. Because what'll happen is, because I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. Back off, maintain no contact, don't react to it, and then they're going to get bored with your mother. And then what will happen eventually is they'll eventually put your mother back in the nursing home because they don't really want to deal. They don't really want to help your mother. They don't really want to deal with your mother. They're just using your mother to get to you and your sister. And once they realize that that's not going to work, they are certainly not going to keep maintaining your mother and keep taking care of your mother, because that's not what they really want to do. They're not doing it out of love or out of family obligation. They're doing it for a sinister reason, and the reason is to draw you back into their lives so they can continue abusing you. So don't acknowledge it, don't take the bait, and eventually I think they're going to give up and they'll end up putting her back in, because what they'll do is, they'll then say, well, how come now I use this situation to shame them? And the shaming tack will be, well, we're sick, and they'll continue with the sickness routine, and they're sick and they're old or whatever their issue is. and we had to take care of her, and now because they won't help us, we had to put her back in the nursing home. Fine, let them say it. Who cares? As long as eventually you get your mother back where it needs to be. Okay? Because at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want to be able to see your mother. Who cares what they're saying about you at that point? But I think they eventually will get bored. Okay? Once they realize that tactic isn't working. And then they're certainly not going to continue to carry on with this so-called responsibility that they're taking. The saddest part is my mom has no short-term memory. She does not know where she is or when the last time she saw me. Who knows what bullshit lies the abusers are feeding my mom. When they did have my mother leave a voice message on my birthday to sing me happy birthday, yeah, that's just to screw you. That's an in-your-face type of thing, and it's particularly cruel, which I found to be incredibly cruel. If it was as if they were dangling my mother out there for me to give them what they want. Exactly. Sometimes I feel the guilt. I just want to give in and accept defeat. My biggest fear is that one day my mother will die and the narcissist won't tell us. Or when she does, the battle of whether or not we go to the funeral. I'm sure there will be lots of drama because there always is. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you. Well, that is a possibility. It is a possibility that your mother might pass and you might have to deal with that. But as unfortunate as it is to say, once that happens, they've lost all their power over you. I'm sorry this happened. You can't put anything past a narcissistic abuser, which is why you have to cut them out. The fact that they would go so far as to sign your mother out of a nursing home. I can't believe the nursing home allowed it to happen. Regardless of who has power of attorney over your mother or who's responsible for her medical, how was she allowed to just go with these people when you and your sister were the ones taking care of her? It's quite disturbing. And again, it just goes to show you the narcissist doesn't stop. They're going to keep coming at you because that's the only way they can fill their supply. But you're going to need to maintain your no contact because this is nothing more. They're using your mother as bait, unfortunately. I don't know if you've spoken to anybody legally about what you can do. If you were the ones paying for the nursing home and you were the ones, financially responsible, you might have an avenue to be able to prove that these people never had anything to do with your mother, and the court would say that these people just swooped in out of nowhere because you never thought somebody would actually try to sign your mother out of a nursing home. So maybe, I don't know if you have spoken to an attorney, but I would recommend you speak to an attorney and see if anything can be done. Other than that, maintaining no contact and not falling for their tactics is your best course of action. So I hope that helped out a little bit. I'm sorry for the situation that you're going through. I appreciate your message, and I know other people have gone through similar things, and it's quite disturbing. But don't let yourself be shamed by the narcissist, because the shaming tactic is what they're using, is what they're playing on. It seems like shame more so than any other tactic is something that we just don't want to deal with. Much like humiliation, much like they humiliate us to our faces in front of other people, which we try to avoid. We also try to avoid the shame of it as well, which is another powerful tool of the narcissist. So again, thank you for your message. I hope it helps. As always, the link to the GoFundMe campaign is in the description box. If you like this channel and you want to see it grow, please consider donating if you can. And remember, if you want your story read and you do make a donation, you go right to the top of the list and I will immediately make a video for you. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. This is Ollie Matthews, and I'll see you all again very shortly. Thanks, bye.